All right, so let's unpack this whole Doge thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
You've been hearing about it. Elon Musk's Government Efficiency Commission
Right?
promising huge savings,
Fish.
maybe even $5,000 stimulus checks.
Oh, yeah, the Doge dividend.
Yeah, but is it all too good to be true? We're going to try to find out.
That's what we're here for,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. We've got news reports in places like Yahoo Finance, CNBC, analysis from financial experts, and
That good stuff.
even some of that fun social media buzz to get through.
Oh, yeah.
So to really get what's going on,
Yeah.
I think we need to start with the numbers.
Okay.
Doge is claiming they've already saved a whopping $55 billion.
55 billion with a B.
Yeah, with a B.
Wow.
But some people are saying that that number is, well, let's just say creative.
Creative.
Might be putting it nicely.
Yeah, creative is one way to put it.
So financial analyst Rick Newman,
Yeah.
he actually went through all the numbers that Doge posted on their own website.
Oh, wow.
And he found that the line items only add up to about $8.5 billion.
Oh, so 8.5 billion.
Yeah.
Not 55.
So they're claiming $55 billion in savings, but the actual documented savings are closer to $8.5 billion.
Wait, hold on. So
Yeah.
where's that missing 46.5 billion?
Yeah, like did they misplace it somewhere?
Yeah, right. That's the multi-billion-dollar question.
Yeah.
There's a real lack of transparency here.
Okay.
Doge hasn't released detailed breakdowns for some pretty significant categories,
Like
fraud detection and workforce reductions.
So we're just supposed to take their word for it that they found all this waste and fraud?
It does raise some questions about their accounting methods, right?
Okay.
For example, are they counting future savings from renegotiated contracts as if those savings have already happened?
So renegotiating contracts, I mean, that's essentially just them trying to get better deals from the companies that the government does business with.
Right, trying to pay less. Yeah.
Yeah.
But counting those potential future savings as if they're already in the bank,
Yeah.
pretty questionable.
It's more than questionable. It sounds like they're cooking the books.
Oh.
And get this. The New York Times and Rick Newman both found examples where Doge claimed they saved more money on a contract than the contract was even worth.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Okay, so I'm officially side-eyeing this whole Doge situation now.
Yeah.
But let's talk about something that directly affects our listeners' wallet.
Okay.
The Doge dividend.
Right.
This is the idea that Doge is going to send everyone a $5,000 check funded by all these supposed government savings.
Okay, but let's be realistic here.
Okay.
Even if we pretend that Doge hits their incredibly ambitious goal of $2 trillion in annual savings,
Right.
a $5,000 check for every single American would cost trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
It just doesn't add up.
So how much could people realistically expect if this Doge dividend thing actually happened?
Well, financial analyst Jessica Ryle,
Okay.
she crunched the numbers based on Doge's current claim savings.
Okay.
And she estimated that the Doge dividend would be closer to $242 per person.
$242?
Yeah.
Seriously, after all that hype.
It highlights the massive gap between the flashy promises and the reality.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what are Doge's real goals if it's not about giving people substantial financial relief?
Good question.
It certainly does make you wonder.
Yeah.
And if we dig a little deeper,
Okay.
there are some pretty big red flags
Oh.
when it comes to Doge's methods
Okay.
and how they're actually trying to achieve these so-called savings.
Right. Like, what is the playbook here?
Right.
Because they keep talking about, cutting waste and fraud.
Yeah.
But it feels like they're also targeting
Right.
some pretty essential government programs.
You are right to be skeptical.
Okay.
Well, Doge claims to be tackling waste and fraud across the board.
Yeah.
A lot of analysts think
Okay.
that their real target
Okay.
is those big-ticket government programs,
Yeah.
Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, defense spending,
Hmm.
and veterans benefits.
Okay, so those are the areas where you could potentially find trillions in savings.
Right,
But those are also programs that millions of Americans rely on.
right.
Cutting them would be massively controversial.
Understatement of the year.
Yeah.
And remember, President Trump promised he wouldn't touch Social Security,
Right.
Medicare, or Medicaid benefits.
Yeah.
But actions speak louder than words, right?
Right.
Henrietta Trey's, a policy expert,
Yeah.
she pointed out that Congress is already moving forward
Okay.
with bills to increase defense spending.
Wait, so Congress wants to spend more on defense?
Right.
While Doge is supposedly trying to cut spending overall?
Yeah.
It seems like a recipe for chaos.
It definitely creates some tension, right?
Yeah.
And it raises questions about,
Yeah.
whether Doge's goals are actually aligned
Yeah.
with the administration's priorities.
Yeah. Okay, so this all ties back to Elon Musk's influence
Mhm.
and what some people are calling the Twitterization of government.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Because it feels like Musk's whole approach is based on this idea of disruption, right?
Disruption, yeah.
Like shake things up, move fast, break things.
Yeah.
But can you really apply that Silicon Valley mentality to something as complex and vital as the government?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
Musk is known for his aggressive cost-cutting strategies,
Okay.
often through streamlining operations and, yes, layoffs. And he's definitely not afraid to use social media to control the narrative.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen those
Right.
interesting tweets.
Interesting, yeah.
But is that really the best way to manage government policy?
That's a debate that's raging right now.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the tweets, right?
Okay.
There are some worrying signs that Doge might be intentionally hindering the government's ability to function.
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, there have been reports that Doge is targeting what seem like really small expenses,
Okay.
like subscriptions to news outlets.
Hold on, they're cutting access to information.
Right.
How does that save money in the long run?
Exactly.
Okay.
If government agencies don't have the resources and information they need,
Right.
it could lead to bigger problems.
Okay.
And even higher costs down the line.
Yeah.
So it really raises serious concerns about whether Doge's focus on short-term savings
Okay.
could actually be undermining
Yeah.
the government's ability to do its job effectively.
So it feels like they're trying to run the government like
Yeah.
one of Musk's companies.
Right, like Tesla.
Yeah, but governing is not the same as building rockets or electric cars.
Right.
You're dealing with people's lives here.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
And this brings us to one of the most concerning
Okay.
potential consequences.
Okay, I'm officially nervous now.
The artward
Aw.
recession.
Oh, wow.
Some economists are worried
Yeah.
that if Doge's cuts are too deep
Okay.
and too fast,
Okay.
it could trigger a major economic downturn.
Seriously, a recession.
Right.
But Doge is supposed to be about saving money,
Yeah.
not crashing the economy.
Right. But here's the thing.
Okay.
When you cut government spending that drastically,
Yeah.
it has this ripple effect
Okay.
throughout the entire economy.
Okay.
Think about it. Fewer government contracts means fewer jobs,
Right.
less money flowing through the system,
Yeah.
and that can create this downward spiral.
Okay.
Jesse Rothstein, a former Department of Labor economist,
Yeah.
he's actually predicting
Okay.
a deep, deep recession.
Wow, deep, deep recession.
Yeah, if Doge keeps going down this path.
So are we saying that Doge is basically playing with fire here?
Well, let's just say there's a lot of uncertainty
Okay.
and a lot of risk involved.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be exploring in the final part of our deep dive.
All right, I can't wait. So we talked about the questionable savings.
Yeah,
The Doge dividend, that's more like a participation trophy,
right.
and the possibility of a recession.
Uh-huh.
But honestly, the thing that worries me most
Okay.
is the potential long-term damage
Right.
that Doge could inflict on the government itself.
I agree. That's the real danger here.
Okay.
It's not just about dollars and cents.
Right.
It's about eroding expertise, stifling dissent,
Okay.
and ultimately undermining the public's trust in government.
Okay, let's break that down a bit.
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean by eroding expertise?
Well, think about it, right?
Yeah.
Government agencies rely on people
Okay.
who've spent years, even decades,
Yeah.
developing deep knowledge in their fields. Whether it's scientists at the FDA ensuring our food and medications are safe,
Yeah, okay.
or economists at the Treasury Department managing the country's finances.
Right.
These are the people who keep things running smoothly.
Right. These aren't just random jobs that you can fill with anyone off the street.
Exactly.
So when you start cutting those positions or making those jobs less attractive
Yeah.
because of, the environment,
Yeah, right.
you lose that institutional knowledge.
Yeah, it's like gutting the brain trust of the government.
And once that expertise is gone,
Right.
it's not like you can just snap your fingers and get it back.
Exactly. It takes years
Yeah.
to rebuild that kind of expertise.
Yeah.
And in the meantime,
Yeah.
the quality of government services could suffer dramatically.
Yeah, it could take decades to recover.
Right. And it's not just about losing the people who are already there.
Right.
There's also this concern about chilling effect
Yeah.
on dissent.
Right, because when you have an administration that prioritizes speed and disruption,
Yeah.
and that's not afraid to use aggressive tactics like
Right.
mass firings,
Yeah.
it creates an atmosphere where people are just afraid to speak up,
Yeah, you don't want to lose your job.
especially when you see these reports of,
Yeah.
this federal employees getting fired, even though they're still in their probationary period.
Right.
It just sends a message, don't rock the boat,
Right.
or you're out.
You're gone.
And that can lead to a culture of silence,
Right.
where people are afraid to point out potential problems.
Yeah, or challenge the status quo,
Yeah.
even if they know something is wrong.
Which is actually the opposite of efficient if you think about it.
Right.
If no one feels safe speaking up,
Yeah,
mistakes can slip through the cracks,
right.
and small problems can snowball into big disasters.
Exactly. And when those disasters happen, guess who gets the blame?
The government,
Government.
which leads to even more erosion of public trust.
Right.
And then it becomes this vicious cycle.
Exactly.
So we're talking about a situation where Doge's actions
Yeah.
could actually backfire.
Right.
And make the government less efficient,
Yeah.
less effective,
Yeah.
and less trustworthy in the long run.
It's like cutting off their nose to spite their face.
Yeah, exactly.
And, the scariest part is this erosion of trust in government.
Yeah,
That's not something that can be easily fixed
right.
with a new policy or a different administration.
Right, it could take generations.
Yeah, it could take generations to rebuild that trust.
So what can we do about it?
Hmm.
Is there any way to protect government expertise,
Yeah.
encourage dissent,
Yeah.
and restore public trust before it's too late?
It's a tough challenge.
Yeah,
But I don't think it's hopeless.
okay,
First, we need to start valuing government expertise again.
okay,
Invest in training and development for civil servants.
okay.
Create a culture that rewards experience and knowledge.
Yeah,
And stop treating government workers like they're disposable cogs in a machine.
it's about respecting the people who dedicate their careers to public service, right?
Exactly.
We need to empower them
Right.
to do their jobs effectively.
Yeah.
And encourage them to speak up when they see problems.
Exactly. Protect whistleblowers.
Right.
And create safe channels for dissent.
Yeah,
Let people know it's okay to challenge the status quo.
yeah.
And that constructive criticism is valued.
And just as important, we need to hold our elected officials accountable.
Yes. Absolutely.
Demand
No.
transparency.
Transparency.
Demand oversight.
Yeah.
And push back against any attempts to undermine the independence of government agencies.
Right.
Don't let them get away with operating in secrecy.
It all comes down to this.
Okay.
Government is made up of people.
Right,
It's the people who work in government,
right.
the people who rely on government services,
Yeah.
and ultimately, it's the people who have the power to shape the future of our democracy.
Yeah. We can't just sit back and watch this experiment unfold.
No.
We have to be informed, engaged, and most importantly, active participants
Right.
in shaping the future of our government.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So hopefully this deep dive has given you the information,
Yeah.
the different perspectives,
The different viewpoints.
and maybe even a few aha moments to help you navigate this complicated landscape and
Sure.
stay informed, stay engaged,
Stay engaged.
and keep asking those tough questions because ultimately
Yeah.
the future of our government is in all of our hands.
The move fast and break things mentality might work in Silicon Valley,
Yeah,
but when it comes to government,
yeah.
the stakes are much higher.
We're talking about the future of our country.
Exactly.
And the decisions being made right now
Right.
will have ripple effects for generations to come.
Generations to come.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
I hope you learned something.
Yeah, me too.